The secret to a fulfilling life. An ancient philosopher's hidden tips. Have you ever felt like you're playing a game you just can't win? You work hard, you chase that promotion, you save for a bigger house, you scroll through pictures of someone else's perfect vacation, but the happiness they promise is always just out of reach. That finish line you're sprinting towards, it just keeps moving. The second you cross it, a new one appears on the horizon, leaving you feeling just as empty and restless as before. You're left standing there, wondering, is this really it? Is this all there is? What if the secret to a truly fulfilling life isn't about getting more, but about wanting less? What if everything we've been taught about success and happiness is wrong? Over 2,000 years ago, in a quiet garden in Athens, a Greek philosopher named Epicurus said exactly that. He shared some radical ideas about living a good life, ideas so countercultural back then, they feel revolutionary even today. He believed he'd found the key to a deep and lasting state of contentment. He called ataraxia, a beautiful word for mental tranquility, a life free from worry. For centuries, his teachings have been misunderstood, mistaken for a philosophy of reckless indulgence. But the real Epicurus taught something far more powerful. He taught that the path to a happy life isn't paved with gold or status, but is found in simplicity, in friendship, and in a mind free from fear. In our chaotic, hyper-connected, and deeply anxious world, his hidden tips might be more relevant and desperately needed than ever before. So, let's explore the 3 core pillars of his philosophy and see if this ancient wisdom holds the secret to true fulfillment today. The trap of desire and the wisdom of enough. Let's talk about a feeling we all know, the itch, that nagging itch for something new, the latest phone, the new fashion trend, the car your neighbor just rolled up in. Our whole society seems to be built on this feeling, an engine fueled by the belief that our happiness is just one purchase away. This is modern consumerism, and it sells us desires we never even knew we had, manufacturing needs out of thin air. Our identities get tangled up not just in who we are, but in the brands we wear and the things we own. And social media is a giant amplifier for it all, creating a global feed of envy. We're constantly bombarded with the highlight reels of other people's lives, which leads to that gnawing FOMO, the fear of missing out. The result isn't a world of happy, satisfied people. It's a world filled with stress, comparison, and a deep sense that we're somehow falling behind. We are stuck on a hedonic treadmill, running faster and faster, just to stay in the same emotional place. The thrill of a new possession is real, but it's shockingly brief. And once it fades, the itch comes right back, demanding to be scratched again. Epicurus saw this exact pattern more than 2,000 years ago. He would have looked at our consumer culture not as a path to happiness, but as a guaranteed road to misery. He argued that the relentless chase for more is a trap. He wrote, "The wealth required by nature is limited and is easy to procure, but the wealth required by vain ideals extends to infinity." He knew that infinite chase was the source of so much of our anxiety. His solution was radical in its simplicity. It wasn't to give up all pleasure, in fact. He was a hedonist who believed pleasure was life's ultimate goal. But, and this is the part people have gotten wrong for centuries, he had a very specific definition of pleasure. He split it into 2 types. First are the kinetic pleasures, the active, fleeting joys we get from satisfying a desire, like eating a great meal. These are the pleasures our world is obsessed with. But Epicurus was much more interested in the second type, katastematic pleasures. This is the pleasure of stasis, the quiet, stable contentment that comes from the absence of pain, fear, and worry. This state of tranquility, this ataraxia, was the highest and most lasting form of pleasure for him. It's not the firework burst of getting something new. It's the profound peace of not needing anything at all. To get there, he broke our desires into 3 buckets. First, there are desires that are both natural and necessary, things like basic food, water, shelter, and safety. These, he said, are the foundation of a good life, and luckily, they are relatively easy to satisfy. Second, are desires that are natural but unnecessary, things like gourmet food, luxurious homes, or fancy comforts. These are nice, but they aren't essential for happiness, and chasing them often brings more stress than they're worth. Finally, you have desires that are vain and empty, things like fame, immense power, or extreme wealth. Epicurus believed these were the most dangerous because they're fueled by society and false beliefs. They have no natural limit, and they are almost guaranteed to destroy our peace of mind. The Epicurean secret, then, is to focus our energy on the first category, enjoy the second in moderation without depending on it, and work to eliminate the third category from our lives completely. It's a philosophy of enough. This isn't about depriving yourself. It's about liberating yourself. It's freedom from the anxiety of wanting more, freedom from the pressure to keep up, and freedom from the endless cycle of craving. So, how do we use this today? It starts with a conscious shift in how we see things. It means practicing mindful consumption and asking before we buy something, is this truly necessary, or is it just an unnecessary or even vain desire? Will this bring lasting peace to my life, or just a temporary thrill? It means practicing gratitude for the simple, catastematic pleasures we already have. A warm coffee, a walk outside, a quiet moment. It's about choosing to invest in experiences over things, because memories and peace of mind are far more valuable. Epicurus would tell us to stop spoiling what we have by wanting what we don't. The way to get off the hedonic treadmill isn't to run faster, it's to simply step off. The loneliness epidemic and the lifeline of friendship. We live in the most connected time in history. With a few taps on a screen, we can talk to thousands of people and see into the lives of friends and strangers all over the world. And yet, in the middle of all this connection, we are lonelier than ever. Our modern relationships often feel a mile wide and an inch deep. We collect followers and contacts, but that feeling of a real, tight-knit community is getting harder to find. Social interactions can feel like a performance, curated for an audience. We show off an image of success and happiness while we hide our vulnerabilities. It's a tragic paradox. We're surrounded by people, but we feel totally alone. The pressure to keep up appearances can make us pull away from the one thing we need most: real, authentic connection. Epicurus wouldn't be surprised. He saw the drama of public life in ancient Athens, the competition, and the superficial relationships, and he had a powerful antidote. For Epicurus, the single most important ingredient for a happy life was, by far, friendship. He put it plainly: of all the means which wisdom acquires to ensure happiness throughout the whole of life, by far the most important is the acquisition of friends. This wasn't just a casual thought, it was central to his way of life. When he started his school in Athens, he didn't pick some grand public building. He bought a house with a plot of land and called it the garden. This garden became a kind of sanctuary where he and his friends could withdraw from the city's chaos to live a simple life together. They were a community dedicated to helping each other find tranquility. Epicurean friendship wasn't about networking or social climbing. It was about building a circle of trust and support. He believed true friends give us something that money and status never can: a deep sense of security. Knowing you have people who genuinely have your back, who will be there for you in good times and bad, is one of the best ways to get rid of fear and anxiety. Friends, in the Epicurean sense, are our best defense against the chaos of life. He argued that it's far better to have a few close, trustworthy friends than tons of superficial acquaintances who might just add drama to your life. True friendship is about sharing everything, the good and the bad. It's about feeling safe enough to be your authentic self, without fearing judgment. In this trusted circle, you could talk about big ideas, share your thoughts, and help each other grow. It was a shared journey toward a more peaceful life. In a beautiful phrase, Epicurus said that friendship dances around the world, bidding us all to awaken to the recognition of happiness. So, what's the Epicurean prescription for our modern loneliness? It's a call to actively and intentionally build deep, meaningful friendships. It means choosing quality over quantity. It means making time for the people who really matter, putting heartfelt, in-person conversations above passive digital scrolling. And it requires vulnerability, being willing to share our struggles, not just our wins. It means being the kind of friend you want to have, loyal, supportive, and present. Practically, this could be as simple as scheduling regular, non-negotiable time with your closest friends. It could mean starting a book club, a discussion group, or just a regular dinner night, creating your own small version of the garden. It's about consciously investing your time, your most valuable resource, into the people who give you that deep, lasting sense of security and belonging. In a world that pushes us to be individuals, building a strong community is a revolutionary act of self-care. The prison of fear and the key of reason. Beyond the anxieties of desire and loneliness, there's a deeper, more primal fear that runs beneath the surface of our lives, a quiet dread of the unknown. We worry about the future, our health, our finances. We fear failure. We fear chaos. And underneath it all is the biggest fear of all, the fear of death. Epicurus believed this fear of our own end is the mother of all anxieties, the main thing that robs us of our peace. This fear makes us do irrational things. We chase fame and fortune to try and build a legacy that will outlive us. We cling to superstitions, hoping for some guarantee of protection from the great unknown. This constant, low-level fear is like a prison for the mind, and it keeps us from living fully in the only moment we truly have, right now. Epicurus saw this prison and forged a key to unlock it. He believed the cure for fear wasn't faith, but reason. By understanding how the world actually works, we could dismantle our anxieties one by one. His cure became so famous it was given a name, the tetrapharmakos, which means the four-part cure. It's a simple, powerful prescription for finding peace of mind. The first part of the cure is, don't fear God. Epicurus wasn't an atheist. He thought gods probably existed, but that they were perfect, blissful beings who were completely unconcerned with human affairs. They didn't create our world, they don't watch over us, and they certainly don't punish or reward us. This was a huge idea. By removing the threat of divine anger, he erased a massive source of anxiety. For us today, this can be a call to let go of fears of cosmic judgment and to take responsibility for our own lives without needing a supernatural overseer. The second part is the most famous. Don't worry about death. His logic is breathtakingly simple. Death is nothing to us. For when we exist, death is not yet present, and when death is present, then we do not exist. In other words, you will never have the experience of being dead. It's a state of non-sensation, just like the eternity before you were born. Fearing death is like fearing a state you'll never be aware of. The dread of death only causes pain while we're alive. By using reason to understand that death is simply the end of consciousness, we can free ourselves from this ultimate fear and finally be free to actually live. The third part of the cure is, what is good is easy to get. This brings us back to his ideas about desire. The things we truly need for a happy life, basic food, safety, good friends, and peace of mind, are not that hard to obtain. It's the things we don't need, the vain desires for luxury and fame, that are stressful and difficult to chase. For Epicurus, happiness is our natural state. It's not something you have to frantically build. It's something you uncover by clearing away all the unnecessary anxieties you've piled on top of it. And the fourth and final part is, what is terrible is easy to endure. This deals with the fear of pain. Epicurus noticed that most pain falls into two categories. If it's intense, it's usually short. If it's chronic, it's usually low-level and bearable. We often suffer more in our imagination of future pain than in the actual experience. By understanding that even terrible things are temporary or manageable, we can face life's challenges with more courage. The tetrapharmakos is basically an ancient form of cognitive therapy. It's a toolkit for challenging the irrational fears that disturb our peace. To use it today means taking a rational look at our anxieties. When you feel a fear creeping in, ask yourself some Epicurean questions. Is this fear based on reality or on a false belief? Am I worried about something I'll never actually experience? Is what I'm afraid of really as permanent and awful as my mind is making it out to be? By consistently applying this filter of reason, we can slowly dismantle the prison of fear and step into the freedom of a peaceful mind. If this journey back in time has brought you some value, and if these ancient ideas connect with the challenges you're facing today, please take a moment to hit the like button. It's a simple way to let us know that exploring this timeless wisdom is helpful, and it encourages us to keep digging up these philosophical gems for modern life. Conclusion. We started by asking if you ever feel like you're playing a game you can't win. With the endless chase for more, the loneliness in a connected world, and the constant hum of anxiety, it can definitely feel that way. But what if Epicurus was right? What if the game isn't rigged, and we've just been using the wrong rulebook? His timeless wisdom offers a powerful alternative to the modern script for happiness. He shows us that fulfillment isn't found in getting more, but in needing less. It's the tranquility that comes from managing our desires and knowing what's truly enough. He reminds us that our greatest security and joy don't come from a bank account, but from the deep, genuine connections of friendship. And he gives us a powerful weapon against our deepest fears, the clear, calm light of our own reason. The secret to a fulfilling life, according to Epicurus, isn't something you have to buy or travel the world to discover. It's been right here, inside you all along. It's in the power to choose what you desire, to choose who you surround yourself with, and to choose how you think. It is the simple, profound, and life-changing realization that the greatest pleasure in life is a mind at peace. What's one simple, Epicurean pleasure you're going to appreciate this week? A quiet moment, a real conversation with a friend, a walk outside. Share it in the comments below. Let's build a community right here that celebrates the art of living well. And if you don't want to miss our next dive into ancient wisdom, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.